Welcome back to From 9 to Mom.
Where we discuss balancing the 9 to 5 hustle with the beautiful chaos of motherhood. And this is our second official episode of On the Tee, Off the Clock. And Katie and I started this as a joke for ourselves, but we're going to keep it going. It's the episode where we try and give you the information that you need to talk about more than just potty training and what foods you're giving your baby at the game this weekend, or if you're hanging out with friends and you just want to have an adult conversation about, hey, what's going on in the world right now?
Yeah, we want to fuel some of the conversation because, I was just out with friends this weekend and I think all of us just talked about kids, sleeping schedule, the terrible twos, like
Well,
all
my
that.
favorite part about you being out too is, just for reference, Katie's one of the only non-pregnant people in her friend group right now. And she went out to celebrate her birthday, which is next week. And she's sending me pictures and I'm like, are those all yours? She's like, no, there's 2 non-alcoholic and 1 is mine. And I'm sure that it was all baby talk, right? Because it's the phase of life.
Well, it is. And it's okay. And it's valid when you're around those people. But like, say you're at a networking event and like, you don't know if these people are parents, you don't want to like go down that route. So like having some things in your tool belt to talk about
the arsenal,
is our goal here. Yeah, like that's what but we both picked 3 episodes. We've been looking for like a week of what we wanted to bring. And I think we had one that we wanted to talk about that's not really like, I guess it's a current event.
But this is the only one I told Katie because this is a complete new fear unlocked. This is the only one that's like news related, not like other pop culture related, but it's kind of pop culture. SpaceX rescued these astronauts. So I'm not going to claim to know very much about I love space, but the thought of being stuck in space for 8 to 9 months, not knowing when I'm going to go home is like my absolute nightmare. I won't even watch movies like that Gravity movie. I think it was Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't watch it because that gave me like relentless, like
it's
I
like
don't know, anxiety.
Yeah.
I can't.
So Ryan loves those movies. He loves like the movie Interstellar. Like he always is watching that. Like whenever it's on TV, he'll watch it. But yeah, it freaks me out too. Like the unknown and like it's crazy.
And
would
these
I
people
like to feel weightless for 8 months? Sure.
Yeah,
like I saw one of the things on TikTok that was like you could feel like when we got back. I think it was the guy that was speaking, and he was like, you could feel your face sagging, and he's like, it was probably the best thing for my skin to be up in space and with the gravity's pulling our faces down.
It's natural Botox up there. Like maybe we should go up there for a little bit, but even when
never
it's plane, this is like a new thing. We should, regardless of how you feel about Elon, he's in control of this right now. So maybe we just need to tell him like, use your powers for good and send us all up to space for like a couple weeks. It's a quiet time
for skin purposes.
It's like a wellness retreat. But I also feel like the thought of being in there, like when you go up in a plane, my fear isn't that I'm going to crash or whatever. It's the thought that I can't get out. I can't open a door. I can't get air. Like I think
stuck. That's where mine is stemmed a little bit too, but mine is also, I think we're going to crash.
Yeah.
Like
you got a lot better, but
I don't know what's going on. Like I don't like the no control, but that was definitely big news this week.
Yeah, huge. And their smiling faces when they came out. I had no idea this was happening. My dad walked in, typical dad style. Oh my God, did you hear what happened with these? I'm like, I haven't left my computer or my kids' bedrooms in 3 weeks, I feel like. So, no, I don't know what's going on. But then I watched
the only thing on my TV is Peppa Pig right now. That's our fixation, and it's freaking horrible. I can't get these kids on another show. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Don't worry. We're back on Danny Go. Danny Go Go. Daisy screaming it in the middle of the night. Danny Go. Danny Go Go. She also likes E.T. Phone Home. E.T. Phone Home. So that's not really pop culture.
Still a smash. I know.
It is a smash.
But actually, this is a perfect segue into my first one that we have. So this isn't like it's just like a trend I've been seeing, but do you follow the guy that plays Blippi on TikTok?
I am obsessed with Clayton because Blippi After Dark is my favorite.
So it's freaking hilarious. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, he's probably on Instagram too, but I only ever see him on, and I have done like not that much.
Well, I have watched every video.
Research on him. No, so he keeps popping up on my feed, but so he is Blippi.
Yep.
And
Clayton Grimm if you need to follow, everyone needs to go follow him. And then there's
Clayton
also
Grimm.
Blippi After Dark, but that's run by moms. Clayton Grimm is who Kate's talking about.
Okay. So, all of his posts recently have been about like him acting like Blippi for the kids and then Blippi for the moms. And like he's like acting like he's so hot, which he's not a bad looking guy, but like I'm not like,
that's why I think it's so great,
you
because
know,
it's like his wife
he's
is
leaning
stunning.
in.
His wife is stunning, but he's just like a normal, but he doesn't look like Blippi. I mean, imagine walking around all day being like, "Hi, Mika, I'm Blippi," and then being like, "Oh, I'm a real person." But the content, that trend where it's an older trend, he's on part like 89, literally at this point, like where it's like, what do you have to offer? Nothing besides this. And he'll do dance moves like, or turn his hat backwards. It's a great show.
Yeah. So I pulled some other things because we've been at Blippi House. We just got off of it and we're on Peppa Pig now. So if you follow Blippi's videos, there used to be a different Blippi. There are two Blippis.
There's two Blippis.
So I don't know if you know the story of this, and this is definitely not something you probably need to talk about at networking events, but it is good information if your kids watch Blippi, because I think the first Blippi was better. I can't stand Clayton's Blippi voice, but it's still an okay show. They're learning, whatever. It's the guy, Miss Rachel, right? Like,
yes,
it's fine. He goes to the playgrounds and you watch him play. But like, so there was a guy that was being Blippi that created Blippi. And he sold all the rights to whatever bought him out. And he was not part of the sale. He's like, I'm not going to be Blippi anymore. And apparently please everyone remember, our facts are from TikTok and
literally, not,
you know,
research facts.
No. And apparently when he did make that sale, he was on tour. And so half of the tour was him and half the tour was the new Blippi, and people were pissed.
Well, when I started watching it was the new Blippi. I remember being like, this isn't Blippi. Like, who is this Blippi? It's Clayton. Is the new Blippi. So Blippi After Bedtime is the old Blippi.
And he is Steven something. But he sold Blippi for $120 million.
Guys, what are we doing? What are we doing with our lives? We're going to talk about Mel Robbins later, but like,
I know,
like, let's just imitate like Miss Rachel, Blippi, Danny Go. Danny Go was making videos in his basement. He's going to be able to pay for all his kids' school because he made songs about candy canes.
Like, I'm sure it took time, but so the deal was in 2020, so like peak COVID, and he sold it for $120 million to Moonbug Entertainment, which is it's a YouTube children's channel, and they are the owners of CoComelon as well.
Oh, they are swimming in it.
So they are rolling in it. So yeah, when he did that, he sold it and they had to recast Blippi. So that was interesting. But me and Ryan kept looking at it and we're like, this is not the same dude. Like, what's going on?
And it happened so like they never addressed it. And the other thing that leads into is not one of my topics, but we talked about this last time. The California Fires, Heidi Montag and Spencer Pratt, and they're friends. He's in all these videos.
Yeah, they connected over it and he did a dance to Heidi's song to like help push it and do some of that. So I don't know, but like these people that are making this much money. So between him and then you got Miss Rachel, who's pulling like 10 to 15 million a year. Her net worth is skyrocketing now since she has all the deals. Like, why are we doing this podcast? Like, why aren't we just like being idiots dancing for children?
If you guys see Katie and I on YouTube, like with puppets next week, it's because we've given up on life and we're just gonna, but they do work hard. Like, don't get me wrong, they have they had a good idea, but at the same time,
the old Miss Rachel videos had like literally no editing to them, like, you know, and now she's certified. She has like credentials of a teacher and like some stuff. But anyway,
that's hilarious.
Good to know out here. These people are making millions on YouTube.
And it's a good way to segue, like with new mom friends, especially like Blippi, something we can all relate to.
Yeah.
Like, oh, did you see this? Like, I remember that was one of my first conversations with a good friend group I have was about Blippi After Bedtime or whatever. And I'm going to see Blippi on April 8th here with my friend next door, my awesome neighbor and her daughter.
Blippi After Dark.
And we're calling it Girls Night with Blippi. Like, what is happening? Like, what has occurred? But so one of mine, this has nothing to do with Blippi at all, but I saw this last night and it relates to the Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, but kind of associated with the author, Colleen Hoover. Have you seen the video she posted where she's talking about, it starts with her putting Diet Coke ice cubes in Diet Coke and then transfers over to her agent fire selling all of her merchandise for 1/3 of the price because of all the, she never like actually says it, but like all the drama going on and how she's going to be poor and broke and all this stuff. And there's like, you got to watch the video, but basically everyone's like, she's on Valium. Okay. Is she drugged up? Is she drunk? She's got like, the comments are insane. So you got this school of thought where everyone's like, she's dead serious. She's messed up. Like this is completely ruined because she has Verity coming out as a new movie and this has completely ruined her. But also there's people saying, and I didn't do enough research because it happened literally last night, saying that this is her humor and her personality and she's like making light and fun of the situation. Okay. So if anybody knows the truth about what's going on with Colleen Hoover, but this video is absolutely unhinged. Like you don't know where she's going with it. And then she's like, buy some merch. I'm going to be poor.
Yeah. I honestly haven't been able to keep up with all that drama. Like it's been so many back and forths and there was text, like I lost interest, to be honest.
Yeah, I stopped paying attention, but Colleen Hoover, I still follow her.
This is a new revelation.
I read all her books and I'm getting excited for Verity coming out because I believe it's Dakota Fanning who's playing the main character. And Verity was very like another very serious book, like another like deep.
Not the kind of book Katie wants to read.
I actually think you would like it. It's not deep, like it's just got a darker message, even though it's a love. You wouldn't like it. It's not enough smut. Yeah. But forget it. It's over. No, Katie wouldn't like it. But it's going to be a good movie, I think. And I'm just curious. Like, is this woman, she's been people went from Colleen Hoover to Elsie Silver and like Frida McFadden. She's one of the names that comes up all the time. So like, is this poor author ruined or is she just funny? Because that actually, if that was a joke, it's funny.
Well, and it could be both. Like she could be like partial, like this could be just her personality, but part is like, I'm kind of serious, everyone. Like this is annoying. Like, and I have to do something. Like,
yeah, like my beautiful piece of art.
Waiting for it. Yeah. They ruined it.
They ruined it with their BS, their relational BS. Like poor Colleen Hoover, whatever. I feel.
And I get it. If something bad did happen between whoever is at fault, like, of course, go figure it out. But like the way it's being dragged out in the mud is like too much at this point. Like you are like, there are other people at stake. What about the other actors and actresses that were in there that was their break? And like, now it's all painted. So I actually, a lot of mine the other two that I pulled are kind of like I think I just had money on the brain this week. Like I was
mine are complete smut. So you go ahead, you do your money ones, beautiful. And I'll do my garbage ones.
Thing. So the next one I had was it came across, but like it also there was a couple things that factored in. So Poppy, the soda brand, sold to Pepsi this week.
Yep,
or last week, whenever it was. So it's like a $2 billion thing or whatever. But what I wanted to bring, so it kind of brought back, I did a couple fact checks on this. I didn't know Poppy was a Shark Tank drink. Like that
I vaguely remember that.
And they were just going through all this drama because they gifted all of those vending machines to influencers. Did you see any of those?
Okay, so and they went to Target. I don't know if you saw that. They had a line of clothing, I think, in Target. Yes.
So they did this whole big marketing push. Yes, it was the merch
and all the influencers are wearing it. I just saw a video of a girl being like, "How I made $2 million," and she's wearing her Poppy sweater.
And so it's been getting dragged. People hate that whole marketing piece. They're like, "How could you spend this much money sending influencers?" The people were like pulling how much the vending machines cost and all these things. Then,
well, what do you think about that?
It got everyone talking about it.
That's what I mean. Like, it's like,
so it's like the marketing side. It's like, this is part of it. So like, of course, there's always stuff. There's brands that are sending dumb stuff to influencers that they're throwing out, like that don't even get brought up. Like there's so much money being wasted in the industry. But like, when you do look at the marketing side, because we're nerds about it, like it's worth it. They just sold it for $2 billion.
Yeah.
So I mean, did they imagine that going between all the shareholders? And then the other thing, so they've already gone through 2 rebrands. So when they were on Shark Tank, it was called Mother Beverage. And then it got like switched. The goal was they were going to go after moms. Like that was their target audience for like the healthier soda alternative, whatever. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't like Poppy. I
I
have
like
tried
I like
2
Olipop.
flavors.
I like Olipop. Like I had not
Yeah,
Poppy. They're
yeah,
very similar brands, but I agree. But
very
think about it. They went after moms. They were thinking, oh, a healthier soda for their kids. But the truth is, they ran into perfect timing. What year was that of the health revolution and everybody
I
wanting to be
know.
healthier, mocktails,
Yeah,
all that
yeah.
stuff? I
So it's,
mean,
like, all in it, so, like, I was trying to look and I'm like, "Why don't I like it?" But it's, like, because 'cause it's got, like, apple cider vinegar in it and, like, some different prebiotics or and probiotics. I think
yeah,
it's no, pre as I drink my venti sugar-filled
I know.
drink. That ain't for me, I
Starbucks,
just
if you're giving out vending machines, Katie and I want it. We're here.
I just yeah, I would love my own barista in my house.
Be great.
But yeah, so that was, it was just interesting to see how like it went from the influencers like they had all that marketing and then like now it's a big sale and it was the talk of the week for sure on like the business end of things.
Well, and I think that it is one of those situations where you look at it and for yourselves, I don't know. I don't blame them for using the right tools to do what they got to do. I just think nobody in business, so many people can judge what other businesses are doing, and some businesses do suck. Like, let's just call it what it
Yeah.
is. But
Right.
for the most part, you never know what's really going on in a business and what they're spending their marketing budget on. They could have easily put that into brand marketing at other like Harris Teeters or whatever and paid for end caps.
Yeah.
Instead, they did influencers because they knew it would, I mean, kind of smart.
Well, yeah, and then you look at like the people that bitch about the Tart trips, like all those
Yeah.
tons of money that goes into it. So it's just all, you know, there's the
Money.
marketing science behind it, which is definitely interesting, but it was just, I didn't realize like how it started and it became, but there is a lot of articles and TikToks and things about now, like everything Pepsi touches, they ruin, and like, they're owned by whatever.
Well, it's
And
because
now
it's
it's
a
going to become,
it's a corporation. And I do think that's a big topic right now is like corporate is taking over. It's almost like another monopoly. You have all these huge
yeah,
corporations taking over small businesses and people feel like the small businesses are sellouts. But at the end of the day, they also
can make that money.
can make the money. I don't know.
It's hard. Yeah.
It's hard. It's
I
tough.
hope they don't change it. Like, I hope, but there was a TikTok I had seen that like brought up a lot of the things like before Gatorade was part of that, like that used to be different. And now Gatorade is like not the same recipe whatsoever that it used to be. And, the bigger brands do this because they try to figure out mass production and they have to alternate the formulas.
Yeah, it changes the entire supply chain.
I mean, that's with anything,
Yeah.
like how they get that. So yeah, that was one that just piqued my interest this week.
Money. We could talk about money in Love is Blind, Minnesota. So
Yes. So no spoilers because I haven't.
I gotta tell spoilers.
Well, you know what? We got to. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
When am I going to watch it?
I'm sorry. Okay. So the only reason I was able to watch it, this is something I usually binge watch like by myself. My girlfriend in Minnesota came into town and she's like not a big drinker, going out person. We just have that kind of friendship where you could sit and read a book together and whatever. So we decided in our downtime at night, we're like, let's binge watch Love is Blind Minnesota. Yep. She's never watched it before. She's from Minnesota. So okay. I love Love is Blind. I love. Yes. No, Love is Blind is not about love anymore. It is legitimately about money. A game show. And everybody wants to be rich. And you cannot tell. This season was a drag. So let me start by saying that. The whole season, they spent extra time in the pods. Even Sam was like, sorry, I'm calling out. She's like, it's Minnesota. Like, there's not that many cool things to do. She knew every place they went. Because she's like, it's a weird city to pick.
Yeah.
Regardless, that's not why it was a snooze. It was because everyone was so like, wait. Mm-hmm. And then everybody was happy and it seemed like everything was going to be great. And then at the altar, the last 2 episodes and the reunion were the season. Like that was the season.
Well, because like barely did anyone get married?
1.
Okay.
Sorry, spoiler alert, turn it off or skip ahead 2 minutes. So, but the real drama comes after. There's all these people coming out and like this guy seemed like the most awkward, nerdy, innocent guy. He tried out for his Bachelor videos ridiculously insane. And he is totally not who he said he was. And now he's dating another girl on the show. And there's all these receipts between her and so like, should I say names? I don't want to ruin it for everybody. But basically, yeah, fine. Joey is the one I'm talking about. Sarah and Ben, we knew they weren't going to work from the gate because as sweet as they were to each other, she was very, very passionate about social issues. And he was very into the Catholic Church and basically was like, I don't know anything about, he had a very diverse group of friends, but he did not have passionate viewpoints on social things.
Yeah.
And she had a very passionate standpoint about church and how it related to the LGBTQ community because her sister was gay and married and all this stuff. So it was a big thing. And they just kept like glazing over it for the two of them. So it's not shocking that they didn't work out, but they were like in love until when it said didn't go through at the altar, we were like, oh, like what?
That was a shock one.
Yes.
Yeah.
But regardless,
some of them you're like, I know that they're not gonna, like, there's no way.
But regardless, there's so much garbage going around right now about them. So if you are a reality TV person, Love is Blind, snooze fest. But what's going on afterward, all the receipts, quote unquote, the sharing of text messages, figuring out who's guilty, not guilty. Dave is in love with his sister, and like, just the Love is Blind has been crazy. And I think the big thing to know is that it was a boring season with a spicy ending, but the drama afterwards might be worth a follow. Like, I think these people are going to end up on other reality TV shows. If I can't wait for Perfect Match. Some of them have already hinted towards, I'm a big Perfect Match fan. So I'm enjoying seeing where it goes down, but and Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey have done all these shows. They do Perfect Match.
Yeah.
Love is Blind. Ultimatum, which I watch all of them. Not gonna lie, don't have time to do self-care, but have time to watch these shows.
Absolutely.
But they are not necessary in this show at all. So like, it's so funny when they like do show up. And the other drama around Love is Blind is everyone saying that Nick Lachey did something to his face. I can't see it, but if somebody else can, if you were an old 98 Degrees fan, please let me know, because I feel like you just probably got Botox or something, but that's the talk of the town. So Love is Blind. I love that show, and I can't wait to see where everybody shows up on these other shows. I'm excited.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories about the speculation that
is it all Ben and Sarah Joey? Ben, Sarah Joey?
No, so I looked up. It did Nick Lachey get work done? And it says that he looks like people are saying it looks like he's gotten fillers, a more puffy, rounder appearance. But there's been no official confirmation.
Dude, why do we care? Like, all these normal people are getting Botox and fillers. Like, why do we care that the famous people who can actually afford it get Botox and fillers? Let the man live. He's loaded. Like, he's got a hot wife. Right? He's pretty hot himself. I loved Jessica Simpson. That was like my era.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, she was great. Well,
their show was the best.
This doesn't, I'm adding an extra story on my side. There's one other like money related one that I think will be fun to talk about, but this one made me think of, because it's more recent. So I was seeing it all over yesterday, but were you a Grey's Anatomy fan?
Oh, yes.
But you don't currently watch?
No, I stopped really like after the year I graduated, whatever. I found it. There were a lot of storylines where you started to begin thinking it's General Hospital. Like, how many plane crashes can we have?
I know.
How many people can die? I don't know.
Yes. So, yeah, I loved it.
Do you still watch it?
Probably, no. I watched till like season 14, probably. Like, I watched a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time.
But so, Ellen Pompeo was on Call Her Daddy yesterday.
Ooh, I love Call Her Daddy.
So, there was so many good clips from it. And it was a very good, like, I don't listen to Call Her Daddy. Like, I don't listen to the episodes. I watch some of the clips, and every now and then I'm like, oh, that would be an interesting person to listen to, or, you know, whatever. But this actually makes me think I might listen to it. She is a very like inspiring person, very money motivated, like has a lot of strong opinions, and she sticks to her guns. So I think the episode could be really motivating, but she like went through like all these background things of Grey's Anatomy, really focusing on the money and her relationship during the entire time with her husband, which that was an interesting
story.
Yeah. We haven't gotten her in this light. Like, there's been so many things that have been one-sided, or she spoke on, you know, she's never been on a casual podcast, but
she's in a new show or movie on Netflix too. So maybe that's why they had her on.
That could totally be, but yeah,
I can't remember what it's called.
The clips that I'm seeing anyway, all have been about Grace. So just the way she talks about it, and that, like, it's.
Well,
I think honestly, she's motivating.
I saw a clip about it when I was scrolling, but also I listened to Call Her Daddy when there is somebody. I love Alex. Like, I know that she
is
came
Mel
from.
Robbins gonna go on?
Oh, weird! I bet you she
like,
will.
Can we get Mel on?
I bet you she might have already been on Call Her Daddy. We should look, but. Alex is a businesswoman. Okay. She's smart. Like she's no joke. Yeah. And when she interviews people, she's been doing a lot of divorcees lately, but she gets them to admit things that they've never told anybody else. But like, don't hate me, America. I'm telling the truth. I'm letting you guys think what you want to think about me and letting me love JoJo Siwa for who she is. I've always loved her through all her phases.
That's what would get you to listen.
Yeah, like, and that's what got me to listen to like a full episode, not just clips. But then I just loved Alex, how her interview style so much. She had Kristen Cavallari on there. She's just done such a good job, and I love her story. Like Jordan used to listen to her when she was raunchy, like back in the day. But businesswoman, like, let's go, Alex Cooper.
And it's like interesting how life changes. She's married. She's, you know, on that path now, where it used to be when she was doing it was like every week she was telling her weekend stories, you know.
And
like,
she still talks about how she met her husband and like how she's
still successful.
I love it.
You know,
I love it.
She talks about exit. Like it's just, but I love the forum of podcasts like taking off a little bit. Like obviously because we're doing one, not that we're viral by any means, but it's just cool to see like big time celebrities coming on these podcasts outside of the male dominated side of podcasting.
I feel like there's so many good female, regardless of what you think about the hosts or where they came from. There's so many positive like female podcasts right now that are just exposing the secrets. And I don't want to give away too much of, let them, but I feel like Katie, you and I talk about this all the time in our work too. I don't know what it is with women, but we were told as young kids to fear each other. We're competition. You always got to be like, but that's not how it is. Like as women, we thrive off of each other. We learn from each other. We fuel each other's like passions. And I don't know, the more we connect with each other and learn from each other, the stronger we all become as a collective. And I think with the podcasting industry and the interviewing industry, I believe that's why it's such a powerful place, because women are so willing to be vulnerable and share their stories and the good, the bad, and everything in between. It's all part of what makes them successful today and who they are today. And like you said, we're not viral in any means, but I do love the concept of being able to share, elevate, like build into women and be more honest about what goes on in life. Because if all we ever show are the pretty pieces and the best pieces of our lives, no one's going to understand how you got there. And that's, how
where
a lot of these people have done it.
Right. It's definitely, and it's fun to watch and listen to, and it's motivating, which is also why I think we like Mel Robbins too, because we're like hearing some of her story through the book, which we'll get to. So do you have one more?
I do have one more, but you made me think of a very quick snippet about podcasts, and I almost want to I'll shorten my other one, but Mel Robbins does an interview with, I don't know if you follow Jake Past That Puss. He's amazing. And it was a really cute one. So watch that because I love him and his story. But my last one that I had on here is the Bachelor verse. So there obviously was the Ladies Tell All, Women Tell All, and then we're down to the final two, but apparently a spoiler on TikTok was leaked. I'm not going to ruin it for people about which girl wins and who was engaged to Grant because she posted a video with a ring on. It's all very interesting because the person is making lots of TikToks all of a sudden. And Grant was my favorite person. I wanted him to, this is the first time where I'm like, I want him to be the Bachelor. And they're like, the Bachelor is, because he is sexy, smart, confident on the show. I'm watching like his TikToks. I'm like, who is this? Like, we don't know. No, like, but at the same time, I think he's like he has handled the season thus far very gracefully and very respectfully of these women. There's been so many seasons where someone says, I'm not going to sleep with you, or I don't want to do this. And it's like a deal break. He seems to be a really good looking, really, quality man, but now I don't know. So spoiler alert, if you guys are watching Bachelor, make sure you ask if other people are watching The Bachelor and what they think about the drama in the final two. It's Latia and Juliana are the final two. That's a spoiler, but everybody should know that by now.
It's out there.
The other thing that is in the Bachelor verse that I found important was that if you watch Dancing with the Stars, Sasha Farber and Jen Tran were living together. They never publicly came out as a couple. She went back to Miami after living there for however long. to continue pursuing her nursing degree. And everyone thought maybe this is the end, but they recently just posted a video together. He went and picked her up and they're back. They are still together, whether that means, I cannot imagine they're not dating, but they are together again. So happy days in the Bachelorverse for them.
I'm so far removed from the Bachelorverse, but I'm happy to hear the updates.
Well, the reason I'm so connected is because we're going to talk about friendships later, but that's how I made friends here. Like, I got into these, we watch shows together and whatever. Like, so now
you have to. No, it's a great way to connect. And that's why we're giving you guys the updates. So you have a little bit of tea to share, enough to be part of the conversation and keep it rolling.
But if you want it to not be about smut and what's going on in reality TV, Katie, give us your last money related.
Yeah. So the last money related one was about Forever 21, like the OG store, I think, for all of us. Like, were you I mean, who was it?
Before Forever 21 was Charlotte Russe. So, like, remember, I was a Charlotte Russer. You were a Forever 21. I still loved Forever 21, but I was an OG Charlotte Russe. Okay.
So they officially filed bankruptcy. I feel like they're the last one of like that whole slew of like quick fashion that have gone and done it. So they're closing all US stores this year.
Closing and reopening Forever 40.
It's because we're all not 21 anymore. Like, I've heard so many jokes about it. They're like, guess it wasn't forever. Was it? But like, maybe they should rebrand and have more than an extra small available in store.
I remember going in that store, even when I was tiny, right? Going in and like holding up and being like, this would fit my middle finger. Like, I don't understand. Like, is this
21-year-old?
21-year-old?
I was 21.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, right? Like, I do miss Charlotte Russe, though. Like, I think they were a good one. They had a lot of variety, like going out tops.
I think I wore a lot of their jeans.
Yeah. Plentiful. But Forever 21, I still liked it even way past 21. Yeah. Like, they had cute stuff.
My coat is currently from Forever 21. I bought it online. That's the last
Forever
item I ever
21.
Forever. And
also, guys, Katie thought she was turning. This is a little piece of news for you.
So
Katie
bad.
Recently looked at me and she's like, Danielle, I've been telling everyone I'm turning 34, and Katie is turning 33.
It's so embarrassing. Luckily, and now you just told the whole internet of all people that watch us, but I had the realization. We were out this weekend and we were celebrating my birthday, but one of our close friends, he's the only one that's like my age, that the rest, everyone else, including Ryan, is like, we're 6 months younger plus, and even my sister a couple of years. So I like kept saying to him, I'm like, oh, joining the 34 club. He didn't say a word to me the entire time. Like, probably thought I was freaking nuts. And then
You're losing it, Katie. You're getting old and your mom.
Kate. So I said and I'm calling her out. I said something to Kate, and the panic on her face, she was like, no. Like, I'm only a year younger than you. We're not that old. Like, I made her panic because she's like, wait, am I wrong? And then I was like, so somewhere along the last 6 months of my life, something has happened that's made me feel like I'm 33. And
maturity.
I think I've told people that. Like, I think I've been like, I'm 33.
It's fine. Katie, I've been telling people I'm going to be 40 next year. Okay, 40 next year. I still think I'm like, oh yeah, I'm 36.
I can't wait for the trip. Like, what are we doing?
We're going big. I don't care if we have to go broke. Let's go big or go home. Like, we gotta go wild. There is a girl that my friend knows that had a Britney Spears themed 40th birthday party and like had the snake and everything. And I'm not gonna lie, for the last like 4 years, I've kind of had that in the back of my mind. Like, how hard do I want to go? Like,
it's there.
I want to go pretty hard.
You're gonna have to get your hair back though, and like,
yes, thank you,
or shave it, whatever, whichever. There's two options a whole year to figure it out. A whole year to go insane.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to but someone could be bald Britney at my party. I would love for a bald Britney to show up at my party.
It won't be me, but
yeah, it's fine. You could be whatever Britney you want to be.
Thank you. Yeah.
I spent a whole year in 8th grade being the oops, I did it again, Britney. Hit me baby one more time, like schoolgirl skirt Britney. I was her for a long time.
That would probably be me. That would probably be the one I try to identify with.
That's not pop culture.
I don't think I can do the like full red suit. Like, that might not be for me.
But maybe. Pop culture Sam Ascari, I cannot say his name right. He's been going on podcasts. Did he go on Color? I don't know. I can't remember which one he went on.
Who was it?
Brittany's ex, has been going out and publicly talking about like their relationship, but like he's also being still very respectful, and like there's speculation that he's still being paid off, and
I'm sure
that was recent.
Trying to fix her reputation.
Yeah, but she's a mess. But I love her. I mean, good for her.
We
but
love
anyway,
it. We love to see it.
So I feel like that's plenty for people to talk about. There's way bigger things going on in this world. Let me tell you, like. These are not your most serious topics to talk about, but there are things that people probably might be interested
These are good
in.
tidbits to keep you part of the conversation.
Yeah, and in the tea.
Start your research. If you're I just remember like sitting like on maternity leave, like I watched like multiple seasons of Survivor. You get down like a hole of like what shows you can watch, but then like sometimes like you just get like you could be staring at your phone for hours with a sleeping baby on you and you still feel like you read nothing. So hopefully this gives some direction if you're, in that phase.
And I think it's a good transition too, because another hot topic right now, as we know,
do we want to go into it? Because we're already almost at 40 minutes. Does it need its own episode?
I think it might. I think it needs its own episode.
I know I wanted to include it and do a little recap, but I think we need to clock out of this one and let them.
So we're saving Let Them, guys. Just so you know, Mel Robbins is on tour. The tour dates have been released. Get your tickets. She's amazing.
We can't afford them.
We're officially best friends because she's commented on 2 of our videos, as has her daughter. So I'm pretty sure we got a VIP pass backstage. But if you want to hear about
it should be coming any day.
Our Let Them theory, we will be doing a separate episode going through chapter 13 and getting deep into some of the tidbits and life transformations. But we got to clock back in, I guess, the 9 to 5. And we'll see you later. Enjoy your tea this weekend.
See you guys next time.